Hello everyone, I am Tanner Edwards and I'm here to tell you why we need genetically modified foods. For one, there are many different types of foods out there. There's genetically and non-genetically modified, obviously. The reason that we need the genetically modified foods over the non is because we can modify them to make better resources for the different areas that we have. Like, for instance, in China, they eat a lot of rice. But if we can take the rice and change it so that it has more nutrients that they need, like more protein, because China doesn't get a lot of protein. So if we can modify it to include more protein genes into the rice, then they can have a better diet. Also, in Africa, they eat a lot of potatoes because the ground is not good enough to grow corn, soybeans, other crops that have a lot of protein inside of the grain. There's not that many wildlife that they can legally hunt. So we need to modify the potatoes, which is mainly 79% starch, to have maybe 50% starch and 50% protein. Potatoes are 79% starch, so when the kids eat it, their bellies look huge because they look like they're full, but their bodies are shrinking because they're not getting enough protein in their diet in order to live a happy life and a fulfilling life with the food that they're eating. So if we can genetically modify these types of foods to fit the needs of different cultures around the world, then we can have a more sustaining culture and people can live longer lives and feel better about themselves because they'll actually be healthy instead of underweight by 100 pounds and not getting any type of protein or anything in their diets. According to an article in the Farmers Weekly magazine, the United States produces 70% of the grain sent worldwide. Out of the 70%, only 2% of it is genetically modified to fit needs of the different people out there. If we can increase that number to even 10% of all the food we send overseas, then people can actually be healthy and live better. According to Monsanto, who is a major genetic modifier of crops and food, they have been working on a different type of rice called a golden rice. There's white rice and brown rice. They're working on a golden rice, which has a higher protein content for people like in Japan, Korea, and China, who obviously eat a lot of rice and don't get enough protein in their diet because they can't afford it. An average goat for sale, which is their main source of protein in China, goes for about $150 in the U.S. per goat. A goat in the United States can go anywhere between $1 and $150, but in the United States we are more luxurious because we have a lot more money that we can hand out because protein is readily available. We can go to McDonald's, Subway, or Burger King and just get a hamburger or chicken, and we can get our fill of protein for that particular day. Overseas, they are not that lucky. China is, Japan is, but they still don't get all the protein they need because of the price differences. Over there, protein is one of the most sought after commodities of the food world, and they just don't have enough money to purchase it all the time. So what Monsanto is trying to do is take this golden rice they're creating and make more protein in it, so that way they have more protein in their diet and they aren't real skinny. In Africa, like I said earlier, they eat a lot of potatoes. Monsanto is also creating a new type of potato. It is a very new prototype, so they do not have any information out at all. The only reason I know this is because I have a friend at Monsanto in Monmouth, Illinois, that told me about this, what they're trying to create. The potato has 50-50 protein and starch. So it's not there yet, but we're working on it. So if we can get these types of foods that go overseas to have more protein in their diet, more starch, whatever they need, people can live happier and healthier. This is a main concern because the United States does produce 70% of the world's crops. So, as us producing 70% of the world's crops, we need to be able to spread our wealth so that other countries can live in peace and actually be healthy instead of just not having very healthy bodies whatsoever.